Hello, welcome pen friends. I'm back with another video. Today's going to be day 16 through 20 of 30 Inks 30 Days, which is an ink journal challenge to to try a different ink every day, and some people use a different pen and some people use the same pen and anything in between. So I've been sticking pretty close to Lamy Broad nib, either in my NEXX, my All-Star, or my Vista. But every once in a while I deviate from that, but that's pretty much what I've been doing. So we'll just jump right into the ink journal. But first, we started with a purple shimmery ink by Ancient Charm. And it is just, oh, it'll just blow you away. It's crazy. I didn't think I was going to like it because I didn't have this card. I just had my ink swatch on the Col-O-ring, and I thought, well, you're not going to be able to see the purple, but that's not the case. So I learned that was not the case. And then next I had a bright blue, well, I guess it's called light blue, but to me it's a nice bright color, by Pilot, one of their 100th anniversary inks. And then Robert Oster Bronze was just absolutely stunning. I don't know how I'm going to keep this video under an hour, but we'll see. Then next was a Levenger Always Green, which is in that family of inks that I'm just loving right now. It's a color that really speaks to me. And then next is, I love gray inks, and this is Van Diemen's Cradle Mountain Gray, and it's got so much to offer. I can't wait to show you. So let's just dive right into the ink journal. Okay, so day 16 was this beautiful purple ink with kind of a gold shimmer. Well, it's got lots of shimmer, and it's by Ancient Charm, a company out of China, and the name is Magpie on the Branch. Now, this little bottle was sent to me at the same time as I got their green one, the Love of the Lotus, and we did that one in the last segment when I ordered a large order with a pen. So if I found that it's $11 for an 18 ml bottle. This is what the little bottle looks like. And there's that shimmer just waiting to happen. Oh man, it's just, these really surprised me. I just did not, when I first got them, I thought, oh, I don't know. But I know now, they're just really, really amazing. So I had it in my Lamy NEXX with the broad nib. And I found it had really good flow, especially for a shimmer ink. Sometimes it could be draggy, but it wasn't. I did note that there are 24 of these inks in this line, and that the names pay homage to Chinese poems and poets. Yeah, and it's like note to self, I'll want to try more of these. There are 24, wow. I don't think you can sample them because, it's a small bottle and everything, but let's hold this up so you can see the splatter. The splatter was just as impressive and magnificent as the swatch card there, the tile. And then this was in my Speedball C5 nib, and I wrote with it right here too. So, it does add up to be about 61 cents a mil, but this is really nice ink. Here's the chromatography, and I got kind of carried away when I did the photos for Instagram, and I didn't let this part dry. But, oh, isn't that something? My hands look gold now. Huh, that's interesting. You can see that. Yeah. Oh my. Okay, learning as we go here. So I'll probably have to get a towel or something. I don't want to transfer it onto everything else, but it didn't transfer really over here. So that's interesting. Okay. So let's do the comparisons, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, here we are. Ancient Charm Magpie on the Branch is in the middle. It's very unique in what I have because it's got all that gold shimmer. At least that's what I'm calling it. It may even be more intense than gold. It almost looks yellow, but it's just gorgeous. And then, of course, this is one of my favorite silver shimmer inks that's purple by J. Arbonne Amethyst de Laurel. The 1798 series, but that's a brighter purple. And it's gorgeous though. This ballpark is a lot of fun for me. Let's put it that way. Now I did pull out the Vinta Inks Harlequin Bodabil 1920, even though that's got all that green sheen that just pretty much, wow. It just really changes the look on the surface of the card anyway. These are, whoops. let's keep the ink star in the middle there for today. Okay, so these are just the ones that either came to mind or I wanted to use as contrast, one or the other. Hey, this is Lamy Crystal Azurite. We're getting gypped here. We're seeing it twice. Okay, let me find another one. That happens every so often where I don't realize I've got two of the same one down. Now I'm going to be real paranoid going forward. But not that this is a match at all, but in your base color, this is a nice dark purple Diamine Mombado's hat. This was one I threw out initially, but I didn't realize I was doing two of the same. That's crazy. Okay, here's Sailor 50 States, Colorado. I've had that in a nib, and I know it's nice and dark, but you're not going to get gold shimmer because this isn't a shimmer ink. And then Diamine Purple Pizzazz has gold shimmer, just not as much, and it's a little different color-wise. Whoops, can you see that? I mean, this just really takes the cake because you could see all that shimmer. It just, wow, it's pretty. But I didn't feel like it took over completely. In the writing, yes, you can see it, and when you tilt and toward the light, your eye can pick it up. It's really quite impressive, because a lot of times with a shimmer ink, I get frustrated because it just doesn't follow through. Wow, it's following through. That's funny. It's on my hands. Actually, I like that. I think I have some of that kind of stuff that used to be like makeup that was from Mary Kay that just kind of made you glitter. Made you look like you were shiny. Okay. Oh my God. That's been a few years. Okay. So let's move on to day 17, even though it's hard to. It's really hard to. I love purple. So I'm sure many of you do too. Okay, this is quite it's like screeching halt and a complete change of color, but that's what 30 inks 30 days is like. It's real exciting for me because it's like a different ink every day, and it kind of goes with the way my brain is. Like I really like I like that kind of thing, like something different each day. So this is oh, I said where I got the other ink, and this sample came from Pen Friend KS, and I did find that this ink is still available, even though it's that 100th anniversary limited edition. I found it at Drum Ghouls and Goulet, $30 for a 50 ml bottle. So I like this. However, I think where I land when I get done with it is I had a lot of fun with it, and I did end up putting it into stub nib as well, which I forgot to write with here. That's too bad. I guess we could do that like live time here. I did put it into the Genhao X750 with a 1.5 Goulet nib, and I wrote some letters with it. Let's just try that here because it does change it a little. Whoops. Well, I'm not sure how this is. I like this, having this page over here. So because it's handy for extra stuff I've either forgotten or, you know, future studies. I could come in and scrawl down with an ink similar just to see how it looks. So I'm actually loving this, and I just need to order more of the booklets. Okay, so this is it's a Goulet nib. It's one of my favorite stub nibs because it's really, really smooth, and I just really like it. So let's just write with it. I thought this nib really did good with this ink. I write too fast, probably. Jumps over the lazy dog. Okay. Okay, so that's just, you know, it's not like it's a drastic change in color or anything, but you are getting to see that ink differently in this nib, and I do like it. I haven't cleaned it out yet, and that tells you something. So I've been continuing to write letters. Whoops. Oh, now I've got us just all over the place. So it's very straightforward. It's got no water resistance, and the chromatography was pretty straightforward, but it's just a beautiful color. Really, really a happy color. I kind of prefer different blues, but let's get the panel going because I think I actually included one of my favorite in what I would say would be this category. But this is just wonderful. I'm glad I got to try it. That was a wonderful day. Oh my God, we had a good day on Saturday. It was rainy and cold, but we had a really good chance to have a pizza and watch a Lassie movie together, and I wrote a pen pal letter. It was just a really cozy day, and we don't usually have those kind of days in April in South Texas, so the weather, it is a changing. There, now, our ink of the day is right in the middle, Pilot Iroshizuku. I don't even think I tried to pronounce it before. Ebisu, 100th Anniversary Limited Edition. And I thought it compared really well to these two, Tasha Sora and also Twisby Sky Blue. You know, it's not, maybe not exactly a match, but it just puts you right in that zone. And you know you're in the right zone. And really, several of these were so similar. Even Robert Oster Torquey. I think I'm saying that right. I lost my cheat sheet paper. An Adular Blue. The turkey in the room is the KWZ Hawaii Blue, but this is where my, you know, it's much brighter and more saturated. It's, you know, this is where I fall. In my preference, I think, is really in that. And so that's good for us to see how far away that is from it. But, oh, they're just gorgeous. These are really, really pretty blues. And they just can brighten your day just to look at it, much less to write with it. So I hope this was helpful just to place it. You know, if you were looking for less expensive, you know, the little bottles of the Twisby are not very expensive, and Tasha is very affordable too. And I know Tasha is has great flow and it behaves in the pen. I'm not trying to talk you out of the Pilot ink, but it is, you know, I don't know, at $30 for a bottle, with those of us who are inkaholics, we have to try to get like 1,000 bottles, you know, so we can't pay that much, I guess. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's go to day 18. I have to tell you all, this was the biggest surprise. And this, I think, was a stand-in ink, because I found out that I had chosen at least two that I'd already done before. I'd chosen Colorverse Kepler's Law and Van Diemen's Black Tongue Spider Orchid. So I had to find a replacement. And I thought, well, why not try to find a color family I haven't done? And this was so unique that I pulled it, but I thought, I don't think I'm going to like this one, but I love this ink. It surprised me. I was just so sure that I wasn't going to like how it looked in a nib, but I'm wrong about that. I really like it, and I'm not sure really why, but it's definitely saturated enough, and it's very complex, and I know that, so my eye likes it. That's all I can tell you. Plus, well, I like Robert Oster inks anyway. So this is Robert Oster Bronze. And it just, I mean, it had me at this card. And actually, I'm going to be doing a process video. It was requested by a girl named Donna on Instagram. She asked, could I do a video of, like, you know, what my process is? And there is a kind of an order in how I look at inks, so I'll try. It may be really hard with my dinky little camera setup and everything, but I'm going to give it a try so that you can see how I start with an ink that I know nothing about. But anyway, that's for another day. So I found this lots of places, $17 for the 50 mil, making that 34 cents a mil. Very affordable ink, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, it's got great flow. It didn't feel dry to me. You know, I'd have to write with it a little longer probably to really be able to tell you for sure, but it definitely was not dry in the Lamy Vista with the broad nib. It was nice, just really nice flowing. And then this is it in the Speedball C5. And then just look at that, how that green comes out. And you've got pink and orange and green coming out of the chromatography. Just gorgeous. I'm not sure that the comparison panel is going to do you any good, because I just went wild. I couldn't find anything in my ink that looked like it, so I thought there were quite a few inks that you might be familiar with where you could at least say, oh, it's real different from that. So I guess we'll look at it, but just warning, it may not be all that, you know, we're not going to find a replacement for it in this. So when I started with this, I thought, oh, I know what it looks like. It looks like Diamine Safari, but when I got this out, I realized how much brighter Diamine Safari is. So it is very different. And then look at the guts of this one, the Troublemaker Espon. I asked Manuel to help me pronounce that once, but I don't think I ever listened well enough. Espana Boulevard. Anyway, look at how similar the interior or the chromatography is on that one. That's just amazing. And then it's just all over the place. It made me think of Noodler's Rome Burning too, but there's just no there's really no comparison, but there it is. And then Platinum Citrus Black, that's kind of silly, but I put it there anyway because I just did, you know. And then I knew a lot of people are familiar with Rohr and Klinger Alt Goldgruen, so that will help you see where this is. This is just much darker. And here's a complex green ink, which that's the only thing it has in common. Sailor Takawa Matsu, that I can see that was part of a former or previous ink flight. I mean, yeah, it probably was an ink flight, but it was also part of 30 Inks 30 Days. And I was going to say, did I transfer Sparkle? But no, this is a shimmer ink, this Troublemaker ink. So that's mesmerizing as well. Of course, I could end up on one and just stay there. So Robert Oster Gold Antiqua, it made me go look for it. But it's like more brown, more gold, definitely not as much green, but there's green in there. So it kind of makes you realize. I thought maybe Muddy Bucket or one of those. Maybe I chose the wrong one. I need to go back through and funnel through all my different colors. Because there's, I think, 7 in the Muddy Bucket series. But anyway, there you have it. It's not going to give you a match, but it's definitely going to place it for you, maybe. So you can see what it's like. Okay, 2 more. So we've got to get on to ink number day 19. So day 19, another bright ink to just like welcome spring. And this sample, did I say that? Yes, I must have said where I got the other sample. My brain is short-circuiting. But this sample, this green one, is from Pen Friend CS, and I'm not finding it available. I'm pretty sure she told me this was discontinued by Levenger, but it's just a gorgeous green, and I've been working with this color a lot because of my new pen. I shouldn't have stacked so many things here. It's going to be harder to get it. But because of my new Opus Opus 88 Omar, I wanted a green, and so I looked and looked and trial and errored until I found one, which was Colorverse Supernatural. But so I've been in this color family a lot recently, and this one is a little lighter. Over here I wrote with the Colorverse Supernatural. Let's see, you're kind of a long way from it, to show that is darker in a nib, but we're in the same family. It's just a darker saturation, and I really like this. I mean, it was pleasant to write with and everything. I just prefer a darker. But let's see. So yeah, unavailable. I don't have ink prices or anything like that. A successful grocery trip. Okay, that doesn't help you any. Here's the chromatography and the water test. I didn't really see a lot of water resistance in it. It's very typical. 11 days. Yes, I just chattered on so that I could get more written. I see some shading in it, and it's just really, really pretty. It did not like go through or anything. Gosh, I should be looking at that. I guess we are looking at it though when we get to the next day. Whoa, I think that was a cat or a door slamming. Let's go look at the panel. I think that will help us a lot. Because since we can't buy this, we do need a panel for this one. Okay, so right in the middle, oh gosh, I am sorry. I just bumped everything. Levenger, Always Green, and it's in such good company. This is one of my favorite, this year anyway, color families. This is my absolute favorite in the whole you know, anything that I've had a sample of, Colorverse Supernatural won that contest. I just love it. I love the way it flows and the color and everything. I certainly love the way this one flows, but it wouldn't be dark enough for me coming out of a nib. Same thing with Twisby Prairie Green and Monteverde Key Lime Pie. Though I like it, knowing that the similar and darker saturated are available, I just like those better. I really like Noodler's Groen Cactus Eel. That's really pretty too. I don't have a bottle of it. I was working with a sample. And then the Scribo Verde Prato is very pretty too. Very, very nice. It's a different, maybe a little different tone. And then Kelly Green is also very pretty, but I still went back to Colorverse Supernatural. Let's see. Marbled Oster Green Lime. I don't have as much experience with this one in a nib. Not as much. And that is very pretty too. The Key Lime Pie I do, because I know we did that in an ink flight and it was just a little too light for me. Karen Dash Delicate Green, wow, that got kind of ruined, was a sample. And I don't know if I still have it. I don't think I do. I think I used that up. But this is just a gorgeous field of possibilities. There's every price range and every tone of green, you know, and I still have more, but I had to narrow it down to the 9. So let's go on to the last but not least ink that was really, really fun too for this segment of 5. So it would be day 20. Okay, so day 20, which is today, as I film this, April 20th, 2021, is a beautiful gray. It's a complex gray, and it is Van Diemen's Cradle Mountain Gray, and I think it's from their Wilderness series. I'll make sure in the comments I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but this company, I have yet to purchase a bottle, but I have a whole bunch of samples from them and I love it. And this sample came from Pen Friend MB. And so the ink is made in Australia, and Vanness lists it as coming soon. But you can go directly to vandiemen'sink.com.au in Australia and order. So I put a note here that says paper odd. You can see where I had a few problems, but that's not the ink. There's something, either my oils from my hands or something got on this paper right here, because that's the only spot, and it's not the pen, it's not the ink. I just wanted to make note of that. So this is just a really complex, it kind of like, to my eye and through the camera, it starts to look very purple. It does, except for in the nib maybe. But you could see why. Look at all that pink and turquoise coming out. It's beautiful. And it is gray, but it's very purpley and unique. I just thought, wow, this is amazing. So I've got a lot to say and a lot to compare it with. I'm trying to think. Okay, 43 cents a mil. I don't know about availability. I know that Pen Chalet carries this ink, but I also know this ink is very popular. I think Vanness has been waiting for a shipment that got snagged either by customs or something for a long time. So eventually it'll probably become more available. But wow, this is just such a nice ink brand. It's one to watch, I think. I just love how that came out. That is beautiful. It'll be so pretty in artwork, and just in, you know, doing something in your Tomoe River ink journal. Just really, really pretty. But let's look at the comparison panel. Okay, so gray ink is something that I'm just obsessed with. It's very, very close to my obsession with purple. So I've got tons of cards, and I kind of narrowed the panel down to these, but I also had these available because I was so much thinking that I was going to end up wanting to say something about another gray. But right in the middle is Van Diemen's Cradle Mountain Gray. And it's interesting how it compares with Diamine Earl Grey. It's got that inner gut too that ends up looking purple on the screen, and has that just beautiful pinky coming out. I don't know what else to say. Now, this Birmingham Tarnished Nickel was from their old formula, and I don't know whether we're going to be able to get ink from them that looks just like this. In fact, I almost wrote to them to ask them to see, But what I really need to do is just make some time to watch Manda's videos, because she's done a bunch of swatching and has explored their new inks that are coming out like crazy. So I'm really interested, because that's one that I really like. But you know, it still doesn't look just like the Van Diemen's. Nothing really does. But this is in good company. This used to be my favorite gray ink, and it's still my top 3. But it's interesting, because all of a sudden this Birmingham Slag Gray, the new formula, has moved up to the top slot. It flows so well in my medium Twisbees, and it has just a little bit darker, more readability. So I don't know, I'm going totally off of this one, because all I have is my experience right now during 30 inks 30 days with this one. But it's gorgeous. And here's another one by Van Diemen's. This has more water resistance. This is their, that's their Wilderness Series 2, Federation Peak. That's bothering me. I'm going to check right now and see whether I'm telling you right that Cradle Mountain is Wilderness Series. Well, that's going to require more time. I looked it up on their website even, and it didn't show up under the tab where you drop down under Wilderness Series, so it's going to take me a little longer. So hopefully I haven't misspoken on the series, and hopefully it's still going to be available, but with inks like this, you just never know. They come out and they're wildly popular, and then sometimes they disappear. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, it did remind me a little bit of Birmingham Allegheny River Twilight, but that is purple, and it comes out of a nib not as gray or dark. It still comes out dark, but this is something I wanted to go ahead and work with. I do have a little bit of this left from the old formula. I know it's different now, so I didn't want to really put that, get people's hopes up. So Colorverse Matter is way lighter. Silver Bells is way lighter. Okay, I've got the blacks mixed in here too. Caran d'Ache Infinite Gray. That's dark, but different. I just have so many, and some of them are out of place, like the black inks are in there. This is the shimmer ink from J.R. Bond Stormy Gray. Okay, this is a Birmingham Slag Gray, the old formula, and I need to label that. The new formula you could tell because a lot of green comes out. So there's a big difference, and I really liked this one, but I like this one now too. So coming out of a nib, you're not getting the green. I'm getting a nice dark gray. So it's very interesting. Oh, I've just gone completely berserk. Gray Luxe, which to me looks black, that's KWZ. Okay, and there's some true blacks over here that I'm going to put on the side. Okay, Kaveco Smoky Gray, much lighter. Way lighter Diamine Silver Fox. I just need to do a gray video, I guess, because this is an obsession. Definitely way beyond. I'm just like I am with purple. Oh, Pure Pen's Lambris Slate. That's one of my favorites, too. And that really looks nice in a nib. It doesn't wash out. It doesn't get too light, but it's not as dark as Earl Grey or Van Diemen's. And then this was too light for me, but it's gorgeous. It's very, it's the Troublemaker Inks Petrichor, and it's just too light, but super for artwork and for playing on Tomoy River. Robert Oster Muddy Swamp. That's more blue. See, I get mixed up. Noodler's Lexington Gray, definitely in a different sort of more traditional gray. Okay, I did want to show you one more thing before I leave you, and that is I was working in my ink journal before I started with Nusha's technique, where I do it like this now, but I was doing this before, and these are the grays. Let's see if I can hold it up a little. Here's Crater Mountain. And like I had their Van Diemen's Winter Morning Frost. That's a shimmer ink. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, you can see it. And also Moon Dust. So this was, I'm really eager to do this again and do it with Nusha. She's Ferocious and Pretty Fountain Pens. I want to use this technique on the gray, because that's going to probably start making me make better connections as to why I'm favoring certain grays. I don't want to just buy, you know, 10 bottles of ink. I'm really still working with samples, and I'm grateful that I'm able to do that. I do have a bottle of Graf von Faber-Castell Stone Gray, and I have a bottle of Noodler's Lexington Gray. So that's, and I do have a bottle of the Moon Dust. So, okay, let's get back into the main ink journal, and I will try to pick a favorite for this 5 days. Okay, this is really hard, but I can eliminate 2 right off just because they're beautiful, but they're not my favorites in that category. Coco, just a minute. Poor Coco. He's had to be on the other side of the house. And then there's these 3. The purple shimmer ink from Ancient Charm, Magpie on the Branch, the Robert Oster Bronze. How do you pick from these 3? I don't know. These are just all, in their own right, really, really pretty. This was the biggest surprise, that because I didn't think I'd like it, and I thought it'd be pretty simple. Show the people, do the 30 inks, 30 days, you know, work up on it, but maybe pass it on to someone else. And that was my impression. So it's amazing how that can change. I didn't think I was going to like this one too much because I didn't realize that the purple would show through. I was just looking at the swatch, which is over here, and maybe you could see what I'm talking about, if I could find it without too many years of... Yeah, they're all mixed up because I've been naughty. I've been, you know, switching order and... Okay, here it is. So when I first saw it, this is all I saw, and I thought, well, that's nice and shimmery and everything, but how are you going to even see the purple? But, you know, you saw in the ink journal, we definitely could see the purple. So... I'm just trying to kind of eliminate here and see which one might be. It's hard for me to pick between these 3, but this is very visible, and it's an impressive shimmer ink. It lays down as much and maybe more shimmer as my Amethyst de Laurel, so that's just amazing to me. But like I said, on first impression, I thought, no, I don't think so. So wow. I knew I'd like this, but I didn't realize how much. And I thought, gee, that's amazing. I don't know if it's going to be available. I've got a lot of other grays to pick from, though. I suppose even though this is probably going to be like a runner-up, maybe it's down to these 2. My goodness. That's tough, though, because you're in different color families and categories. This is a purple with shimmer, and this is a... you know, kind of green, kind of bronze, kind of very unique, and just, wow, it's hard. I don't think I can. Maybe I'll be able to by the time I type up the, the description, but it's a tie, I guess. It's a tie. Now, did anything here bump Sailor Mano? Or Ancient Charm on the Lotus? Yeah, it definitely bumped this green because I mean, I like this one better than the green even. But I definitely am still in love with Sailor Mano Acai, and I think that's still my #1. But I already have a bottle of it, so it's like, it's easy to say, yeah, but I might be able to pick another bottle by the end of this. We'll see. It might be this one, because I do have a purple shimmer ink that I like, and I have this. Come to think of it, yeah, I think that influences a person if you know you have some to write with. So maybe this would be the winner. Okay, are you having that much trouble as I am? It's fun trouble. It's the good kind of trouble. In terms of choosing favorites, it's almost impossible. It's like trying to say, well, what's your favorite pen? Well, that depends on the day, I guess. Okay, I hope you're having as much fun as I am, and I will look forward to your comments in the comment section, and I'll type up everything I do know about these 5, so don't miss the description box because that's where I make up for things I forget to say. Okay, so I'll talk to you later, and have a great rest of your 30 inks 30 days. We got 10 days to go. Bye for now.